Now I got to get you to tell the Tony Atlas story because this was amazing. I took a bump off the chair sitting down at the office. I mean, I guess I'll let you set it up and everything, and I'll just say, of course, it's got something to do with feet, but you have at it.
So we were doing a lot of shows for a wrestling company called NWA On Fire, run by the Savoldi family, Mario and Tommy. They did a lot of work with WWF and WWF way back in the day. Tommy, a referee, and Mario kind of working with like Andre and different things. Hearing him tell different stories about with Andre were pretty fantastic. But obviously up in Maine, Tony Atlas was like a local guy up there, so they would book him on shows randomly here and there. And so a group of us kind of walked to the subway that was right in front of the venue that we were wrestling at, way up in the middle of Maine. Literally nothing around at all. And so all of a sudden, there's like 5 wrestlers and a couple other people like all in the subway, and we're just sitting there in line ordering. And like Tony Atlas is, he just ordered his bread, and he's looking at the girl that's making a sub, and Tony's a tall guy, and he's looking over the subway thing at her, and he's like, hemming and hawing, making all these different noises. And he goes, "Excuse me, miss," and he reaches into his fanny pack. And before that, he just looks at her, and what did they say? Like 7. And then she goes, "What? No, it's 6 inches or a foot long." He goes, 7. That's what size shoes you's wearing. And she was like, yeah, like really awkward, uncomfortable. And then he just reaches into his fanny pack and he pulls out a Polaroid picture. And the Polaroid picture is just like a woman standing straight on his face, like covering his whole face, nose, and mouth and everything with her foot. And he just holds it up, shows it to her. He goes, "Would you like to do this to me?" And she is like horrified, like, no. And this apparently for him it's normal, and the guy that was with him, like, it was like one of his handlers. It's normal for him too, but we were like mortified, like, for this poor girl, and like totally like creeped out. But he was just, didn't care. Just shows it right to her in the middle of the subway. "Yeah, would you like to do this to me?" Fucking insane.
I don't know which part is the best. I couldn't stop laughing because I envision him standing over this subway counter, staring at her feet as she makes his sandwich, and he just blurts out. He says nothing else but 7. And the girl's like, "What? 7?" And he's like, "Size 7. And then, so that's bad enough. So the girl's gonna be like, yeah, I do wear a 7. But he's got such a foot fetish, he can tell just from the naked eye what size foot a woman has. And then to make it worse, he pulls out the damn Polaroid and invites her to replicate it.
It's one of those things that we'd always heard, like, talk about it in the locker rooms or whatever, but never really seen too much. But literally after that moment, like, we saw it an awful lot in the locker rooms. It like became like a thing where we would see it. Like, other wrestlers would like bring their girlfriends to a show, and he would like pay them money to be able to like just do it in the locker room, like stand in his face and stuff
and take pictures. Wow. Tremendous. Croc, did you ever witness this, or were you lucky enough not to?
I was actually there for this. I was at the subway with these guys, and I witnessed the whole thing. And I mean, I don't know what Fury's talking about. It was normal to me. He's basically, by that point, he had normalized it for me, because I had been in locker rooms with him and just walking in, coming in out from the ring to the back, and just there's a woman with her hands pressed against the wall, leaning against the wall, and I look down, just Tony face up, just taking it all.
Just eating the cheddar, huh?
No, and it's not the foot. It's the foot with the shoe on it. They have to have the shoe on. That's part of it.
I don't even allow shoes in my house. Never mind shoes on my face.
It's just oh God. That's tremendous, though, just to look at a woman's foot in Subway and say 7. Good old Tony Atlas. So I appreciate
the greatest
you telling
thing.
the stories.
The greatest thing too, Mike, is that he would sometimes have like intergender matches, or he'd have a match with the heel that had a manager, like a female manager, and he would call spots where, okay, while while the heel distracts the ref, you come over and stand on my face. And you could see a movement in his trunks. If you
It's just it's a wrestling legend calling spots for the women to stand on his face in the middle of the match.
Yep.
Tremendous.
Yes, indeed.
Oh boy, I don't know what to say now. Okay, let me wipe the tears away. All right, well, I don't know how to segue away from Tony Atlas loving the feet on his face, other than to say we'll talk some wrestling now, some old indie wrestling. Now, Fury, clear it up for me.